Here it is, YouTube. All the gun tubers are dropping their content about the incoming ban. It's coming for sure. Uh, and here, this guy goes into it a little bit, and it's not just what they're calling assault rifles, it's everything. I mean, just look at the title of the video. It's bad. Washington is about to ban everything. In fact, it's going to be hard to even find a legal gun in order to defend yourself. Oh, this is just terrible. Let's see what he has to say about it. By the way, shout out to Guns and Gadgets. They're an awesome channel. They're always covering this stuff happening, right? And just kind of keeping me up to date. It's one of the channels that I use to actually stay up to date. That and Washington State gun law, or can't recall the other channel's name off the top of my head, but he's a lawyer and he, goes into it, and it's been looking really grim, right? So before you freak out too bad though about being a felon, so anything that you already have is grandfathered in, right? Because they can't get rid of all the weapons that are already out there, right? They could just make sure that nobody can ever get any more of them here, which is going to make all sorts of problems, right? Because effectively, this isn't how criminals were getting guns anyway. So criminals are still going to have their guns, but normal law-abiding people aren't going to be able to get any of this stuff. Let's see what he has to say.
And this, of course, the tyrants are tyranting. It's not going to apply to law enforcement or military in their state at all.
Of course.
You can't have them. You can...
Right, we can't have them, but of course, right? Because when Biden and Nancy Pelosi and everybody want to take rights away, that they're not going to take them away from themselves. And they always have a retinue of armed guards everywhere they go. So it's easy for someone like that to feel safe.
Still possess them. There's a
Unless you're Nancy's husband, I guess.
grandfather period, which all the FUDs right now are rejoicing. Woo, I can keep mine. Don't care about anybody else. Because F America, well, FUDs.
Right. Yeah, just because, I'm not happy at all that I get to keep mine. That, this could be a video of bliss and joy because, I lucked out. I got my stuff right before the ban. Screw everybody else. I'm all set. No, this hurts our country. This hurts America. Right? This hurts everybody. I really feel like that about it. This really hurts us. They're just, I don't know. And I'll be honest with you guys here. I'll say something crazy just for YouTube. All right, ready? So, if the government can't disprove UAP phenomena that we're actually having, that they're getting videos of, that we don't need a full explanation, but the point is, if that stuff's really happening, which it is, and we have videos of it, you can't tell me we should be disarming ourselves. Whoa, why? It makes absolutely no sense to me at all. I think just on the grounds of that alone, since there's potentially something unknown in the skies above, well, why should we be disarming ourselves? Just, come on, can anybody give me a good reason? Leave me a comment.
Get your head out of your you-know-what, or get on the train because they're loading it up. It's time for everybody to pull together and realize exactly what's going on. Also to be banned.
And by the way, I'm going to throw this out there. I hate politicians in general, so I'm not political. And I will say this, some of the politicians that have been fighting to save our gun rights, whatever's left of them, they're what I consider bad politicians. The Marjorie Taylor Greenes and the Boberts. It just kills me. It kills me. I can't even find a political party that actually represents me or people like me in this country. I honestly don't feel like I can. And one of the main reasons is because Democrats are typically against guns, and it just doesn't make any sense in a world that's already filled with guns. Hey, gun control could work. It could. If you could magically disarm everybody in the entire world altogether. And then even then you'd have problems because people would just start making the shit in their garage. And they would, right? So it's one of those things where this is definitely just the wrong way to go about doing this. It's not going to help anything. It's not going to fix anything. It's just going to make things worse. Ugh.
Automatic rifles that are less than 30 inches in overall length. That's your SBRs, guys and gals. A
Yep.
conversion kit, a part, or a combination of parts from which one of these guns can be assembled, or from which a firearm can be converted into one of these weapons, if those parts are in the possession or under.
So yeah, like pay attention here because it's not just scary looking assault weapons or whatever they want to call them. It's pretty much anything that we have that's a modern, decent capacity gun. And this includes handguns as well. So because you have a high capacity pistol and you think you're safe from the assault weapon ban. No, guess what? Your pistol's an assault weapon now. So are shotguns. So I don't know what the hell Biden was even talking about. Get a shotgun. Well, guess what? Your shotgun's going to be illegal. Right? Right? Biden didn't say get a shotgun that only holds one shot. But that's pretty much, I mean, we're going to have to be rocking muskets over here pretty soon.
Control of the same person. If it's a semi-automatic centerfire rifle that has a capacity to accept a detachable magazine
Which is
and has
everything.
any one or more of these following features: a grip,
Oh.
like I said,
Yep,
that's
a
independent
grip.
or detached from the stock; a thumbhole stock, folding or telescoping stock; a forward grip; a flash suppressor; a silencer; a suppressor of any
Are you
kind;
kidding
a
me?
flash eliminator; a muzzle brake.
So you better have a naked ass barrel. I mean, they're going to use your optic against you. If it's got a pistol grip, it's an assault weapon now. Oh my goodness.
A threaded barrel, just the barrel itself.
Threaded barrel.
A shroud to keep you from
Everything comes with a threaded barrel nowadays. Oh, they're using commerce against us.
burning your hand. That's a forearm, unless it's, the piece of wood or fiberglass that extends all the way to your shoulder. Well, Jared, what about the fixed magazine workaround that people have thought up
Yeah.
over the years? Well, if it has a fixed magazine with a capacity to accept more than 10 rounds, well, that's illegal too.
What?
Well, they're just going after rifles. At least we have our pistols,
Here
right,
we go.
fellas?
Here's the best part.
Wrong.
Wrong.
How about a semi-automatic pistol that has a capacity to accept a detachable magazine? There's one more of the following: a threaded barrel, a second hand grip, a shroud that inserts so you don't burn yourself.
Wait.
The capacity, just the capacity to accept a detachable magazine
Damn.
somewhere else other than the pistol.
So look at that. Like even my SIG P365 is illegal by these standards. Like it accepts a detachable magazine. I thought maybe I would have had one because it doesn't have a threaded barrel. There's no optic on it. It's just like a plain Jane concealed carry pistol. But I guess because it accepts detachable magazines, that's enough to do it in. I mean, it also has a capacity of over 10 rounds. Oh my goodness. That's just terrible. So there's, 80, 90, 95% of people's daily carry right there is now unlawful.
Pistol grip, I don't know, like bullpups. Well, then, just like Joe Biden said, get a shotgun.
Oh, you can't.
Nope. Any semi-automatic shotgun that has the following: folding or telescoping stock.
Now that is some bullshit. You would have thought that they would have at least just left shotguns alone, since that's literally what Lunatic Joe has just been ranting and raving about, is get a shotgun. My sons and me have shotgun, even though one of his sons is gone and the other one's a felon that shouldn't have a shotgun or shouldn't be allowed to have a gun. So I don't know what he's talking about, but he keeps telling everyone to just get a shotgun. Well, so he bans damn near all of them. What is going on here? This is terrible. This is terrible. So this is what you're going, and like one of the huge problems I see now is your lawful gun owning citizen is going to be neutered into pretty much having a goddamn musket, right? And criminals that are not neutered, they're still going to be able to go out on the street and they're still going to be able to get a Glock or something that has, I don't know, like a 9mm with like a 17 round magazine. Oh, now you're completely outgunned by the criminal element. They have twice as much capacity as you, and you are rocking some kind of musket looking thing. Like this is where this is heading, right? And this is already the revised version of this crap. Oh my goodness, it needs to be revised 1,000 more times until it is just like a blank page, I think, because this is absurd. Joe lied about everything. Get a shotgun. You can't. Get a shotgun so you can be a felon.
Pistol grip. So all your pistol grip shotguns, gone. Well, California, what if we just attach a fin? Nope. Not on shotguns, not on rifles, not on quote-unquote pistols that are shorter than 30 inches. What about a shotgun that I take out for competition that, holds 8 rounds because of that barrel extension? Nope. That's now an assault shotgun.
Yeah, you mean to tell me now that, like, for your home defense, you can't have an 8-shot shotgun? That's gonna hurt people. Like, that is legitimately going to hurt people that are sitting there trying to defend the farm, or maybe elderly people that live out in rural areas. I mean, you are now neutered to that. That's it. And the home intruders know this. They know that they have a Glock that has twice the capacity of anything that you can have. I mean, this is just a bad situation. And what about the 3D printed guns? What about the Orcas? Does anybody realize how many barrels, gun barrels, there are just floating around already in circulation? Just a gun barrel. Because you can just 3D print a gun around that barrel. And you would actually be highly surprised at the performance that you get out of it, because you are still using like a match grade barrel, right? There's a gun that, it's a 3D printer gun project that has been floating around. It's called the Orca. You can YouTube it, you can search it. They are tearing a range up with it. They are getting consistent back-to-back shots without malfunctions. All in all, I mean, it looks like a more effective weapon platform than the musket that Joe wants you to have. Like your 4-shot shotgun, right? So that's scary, because anybody with a 3D printer is going to be able to bust one of those out in 8 hours. And barrels are all over the place. So we have that to deal with now.
Done. Wow. And it keeps going. Guys and gals, this is terrible. Horrible. It's coming at a time when we've had many landmark decisions by the Supreme Court reaffirming.
Yeah, and he goes on to say that, like, of course, there's going to be lawsuits, right? I mean, there's going to be pushback on this. This thing's probably going to get abolished down the road. But down the road, we have to wait for these damn things. We have to wait for these lawsuits. We have to wait for this to get figured out. And who knows how long that could take. The last assault weapon ban, or whatever the hell they called it, I think it was a 10-year ban, right? So just like I was saying in the last video that I dropped, if you are finishing up a project, or you're looking for something to maybe defend yourself and your family, give you some protection in these trying times, I guess right now is the time to go get that taken care of, right? Because this is going into effect. They've already passed it. They're going to pass it again. They have the votes, right? And then we're going to have to tear this shit down piece by piece. And it's going to take some time. Like, the courts move slowly, unfortunately. It's just crazy to me that they're even able to pull something like this off. But I honestly don't think it will stand. But we don't know for how long, right? I can't even begin to guess. So, and hey, you might need protection tomorrow or the day after. I've been in one of these situations. I know what it's like to feel so desperate to look around on the ground around you to see if there's a brick or a rock or anything that you can pick up to use as a weapon, because somebody is assaulting you, trying to rob you, kill you, whatever, and they have a weapon, but you don't. I know what that feels like. It's the worst feeling in the world to me personally. I never want to be there ever again. And I don't know. This whole thing just seems absolutely terrible. And you don't want to be in that situation. I can promise you that. I don't care who you are. You don't want to be in that situation unless you absolutely have to be. And then you still don't want to be there. Okay? And this is going to create more of those situations, specifically for law-abiding people, because that's who this is targeting. Let's not cap on this, as the children say, okay? This is going to hurt law-abiding people. None of this, and I mean none of this, is going to affect criminals, like in the least. Matter of fact, this is only going to help criminals. The price of underground weapons is going to go up. They're going to be able to make more money. This is only going to help crime, unfortunately, and it's only going to hurt us. And again, I'll say it again for YouTube, just because it's crazy for YouTube, right? If we got unidentified UAP things, if we got anything unidentified in our airspace, why the hell are we disarming ourselves? All I'm saying. And my works cited page is going to cite every single one of those effing Tic Tac videos. There's a ton of them. There's just a ton of them. And the government has admitted enough to admit that they're real. They had a press conference covering this. They admitted these things are real. They don't know what they are. They're not going to speculate on what they are. But these are real phenomena that are occurring. So we don't know what that is, and I think just off those grounds alone, you cannot disarm your population. Just IMO, and the fact that you can 3D print orca guns from a 3D printer that are going to blow a musket away. So let's all only arm ourselves with muskets. Great idea. Great idea. Anyway, I wish there's something we could do about this. File lawsuits if you can. Later, folks.